You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take on your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. A very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's see, what are we at? National Lame Duck Day. That's no excitement there. I don't know what they're even talking about. Let's move on. Chopsticks Day. Okay, I enjoy a little Chinese food, and my chopsticks don't look anything like that. They're not nearly as nice as those. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, chopsticks don't look like that. And National Frozen Yogurt Day. Yes, that's another one for today. Like that one, National Frozen Yogurt. Make sure you get the whipped cream on top. I'm just throwing that out there. So frozen yogurt, go to little berries and some of the other candies and things that go on there. I have beaten anorexia, so I do look at those things. Let's see what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 87 points. S&P 500 is down 25. The NASDAQ is down 86 points. Oil's up 25 cents a barrel, 73.66. Let's see what else is going on. Now, we're still getting in the news. The discussion on a hot jobs report moving the goalposts on interest rate expectations. Was the jobs report really all that hot? Well, a lot of people want you to believe so. I'm going to tell you it might be fake news, but we're going to talk about that in the next segment. We've actually got the numbers to substantiate my thesis. I don't give you these numbers and just say, hey, you know something, this is my opinion. Well, sometimes I tell you it's my opinion, but in this case, it's not just my opinion. It's actually what's going on out in the marketplace, and we're going to watch it. I'm going to exactly show you why the numbers are fake, where they're coming. Well, maybe why are they doing it? Well, the president's got a speech tomorrow, and here's part of the issue with the speech. The issue that comes up is, how do you solve a problem when you don't admit there's a problem? Maybe that's what the whole issue is here, is nobody's admitting that we've got a problem. So maybe, I listened to the transportation secretary today, the very, very experienced, very understanding, the all-knowing Mayor Pete Buttigieg from a city that's smaller than yours. Almost any city in the sound of my voice, his city was smaller. Oh, but he's the Secretary of Transportation, and he's the one that's going to tell us the economy is doing great, the market is doing great, and maybe, Mayor Pete, maybe you need to get a little bit of an education if you're listening, or if you have Mayor Pete's cell phone number, maybe you ought to send him a little bit of information. Tell him to check out our show this morning. Maybe we'll be able to get him direct information on maybe he's missing something. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm not going to say that he's misleading you, even though it probably is. I'm not going to say that, but maybe he's just missing something. But we're going to get into that in depth in just a minute when we get into the Mortgage Minute. Right now, let me give you Mortgage 101. Mortgage 101, we're going to get you that report right now. Let's see. Brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? How to buy a second home with equity in your existing home. You may be thinking now is a great time to buy a second home or investment property. Having enough money for a down payment on a new home is often one of the biggest struggles homeowners face. Many people don't want to tap into their 401k or cash right now, but you may be wondering, is it possible? Yeah, I get it. Every once in a while, some of my technology starts acting up on me. But you might wonder, is it possible to tap into equity you have in your existing house? For some homeowners, you may be able to leverage the equity you have built up in your existing home to buy another property. I'm going to share how you can use the equity in your existing home to purchase another home. There are a few options for using your equity in your house, and you always want to consult your accountant to find out about tax implications. We don't give tax implications here on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's look at some options you may have to tap into equity of your existing home. Refinance your existing property. The first option you may consider is to refinance your existing home with a cash-out refinance home loan. A cash-out refi allows you to tap into the equity in your home and take out cash. This cash can be used to remodel your home, pay off bills, or put your kids through college. This money could also be used as a down payment on another property. There's often seasoning requirements on your down payment funds when you buy a new home, so you want to check with us and let us know, and we'll give you guidance on the requirements. But refinancing your existing property may allow you to tap into your equity and use it for a down payment on another home. Interest rates on primary residences are usually lower than on investment homes. With a cash-out refinance, your total loan amount typically cannot exceed 80% of your home's value. How about taking out a second mortgage? Another way to tap into your equity in your existing house is to take out a second mortgage. There are many second mortgage options available, including a home equity line of credit, also known as a HELOC. A HELOC works like a line of credit against your home. You do not have to draw all the funds out with the HELOC home loan. It may provide you with funds needed to buy a home as a rental, or even consider buying a home and fixing it up to sell. There are seasoning requirements for down payment, so you'll again want to plan ahead and work with us to find out specific requirements. Understanding the downside. When you use your existing home to finance a second home, you stand to lose your primary home if you fall behind on loan payments. Equity lines of credit usually have variable interest rates, which means your payments could skyrocket over the course of time. Home equity loans tend to have shorter term than standard mortgages, which means you may have a larger monthly payment to manage. If your payments fall well within your budget, then a cash-out refinance or equity line may make sense. But if funds are tight, then the cons may outweigh the pros. Whatever you decide, be sure you're working with your accountant, your financial advisor, and of course, a licensed mortgage professional like our team here at Geneva Financial. You may be sitting on an opportunity to expand your home ownership with the equity in your home. If you have any questions, give me a call. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can we count on you for that introduction? That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it's wrong. Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. Yeah, we got a great program lined up for you today. We're going to talk a lot. We've got a lot to go over. We're going to give you that concept and all the backstory on the jobs report. And is it fake news? We'll talk about that. Should you rent your house or sell it? We'll talk about that one as well. And we got a survey. 1 in 4 are filing taxes late. We're going to talk about that also. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The S&P 500 now down 27 points. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, and timely and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. 30-year conforming loans Friday locked at 6.066, up a little bit. 30-year jumbo 6.354, up a little bit. 30-year FHA, 6.027. That was up. USDA, 6.004. That was up. And the best loan on the market, that's the 30-year VA loan, 5.600. That was up as well. All of them going up. All of them having to do with the jobs report that came out on Friday. But let's take a look and see where the markets are right now. We'll take a look at these things first, and then we'll step into what's really going on, because most people don't want you to know. They're not going to tell you exactly what's going on. The headlines aren't going to tell you this because they've got a vested interest. So 10-year Treasury is up 10 basis points. The mortgage-backed securities are down 53. That tells us that mortgage rates are up. Ow! So the central banks, they're talking tough based on a misunderstanding. What they're really doing is they're out there telling everybody Okay, well, the jobs report is so much stronger than we all expected. 517,000 jobs. And I guess I should get myself in trouble and throw Josh a curveball because Josh, I put in 2 slides I'm not throwing, he's way ahead of me already. Okay, so we have the slides that came out. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our socials, ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing some slides that talk about the jobs report. So this comes out the first Friday of every month. We get 3 different reports. The Wednesday before the first Friday of the month, we get the ADP report. To me, that's the gold standard. It actually looks at 25 million records that ADP has in their database. ADP says that we added 106,000 jobs in the month of January. Then we look at the Business Establishment Survey, the BLS report. They said we added 517,000 jobs. The estimate was for 185,000 jobs. They revised the last 2 reports, adding 71,000. Then we look at the household survey. This is the third of the surveys. They said we gained 894,000 jobs. 606,000 of those were part-timers. They say the labor force increased by 866,000 jobs. They say the labor force participation, though, went to 62.4 from 62.3, and they say the unemployment went from 3.5 to 3.4. That's according to the U3 report. All of those are the numbers that have come out on the Friday jobs report. And initially, it sounded really, really good. Great jobs report. We get all the administration people coming out telling us how great the report is. Yeah, but our crack staff, right? So we look at it and we say, aha. We're looking at the household survey that says there was 894,000. And if you look on their report, it actually says in the fine print that nobody's talking about that December 2022 to January 2023 changes in selected labor force measures with adjustments for population control effects. Okay, the population control effect added 810,000 jobs. So if we take that addition for population control out, that tells us that they really only added 84,000 jobs, not 894,000 jobs. Do you think that would have had an impact on the unemployment rate? Of course it would. So instead of that going down to 3.4, it probably would have gone up to 3.6 or 3.7. Just throw that out there for you. Now, let's take it the next step further. Do we want to go a little bit further? Well, when we look at the actual raw data of the BLS report, and this comes from David Rosenberg. He reported the raw non-seasonally adjusted data. Now, remember, on the BLS report, they say 517,000 jobs were created. According to David Rosenberg, the non-seasonally adjusted data actually showed 2.5 million jobs lost. But after seasonal adjustments, it was revised to a positive 517,000. They added 3 million jobs because of seasonal adjustments. Unbelievable. The biggest anomaly, 471,000 jobs lost in the retail sector, according to the raw data. After you add the seasonal adjustments, 30,000 jobs gained. Can you believe these things? Think about this. So they're adding 3 million jobs so they can get a positive number on the BLS report. They added 810,000 jobs on the household survey report. And you wonder why people don't trust government numbers. I think I'm going to send this report over to our friends over at Chapman University and see how they stick these numbers into the model. I'm just curious as to how that actually works. Additionally, the ISM services report showed businesses were unable to hire qualified labor. Supply is thin, they say. We continue to let people go, not replacing any open positions. S&P Global's U.S. Services PMI said, quote, hiring is almost ground to a halt as firms reassess their payroll needs in light of the weaker demand environment, unquote. So the question becomes, how long is it going to take for the markets to digest some of this data and come back and say, you know something, maybe the jobs world is not nearly as strong as we seem to think it is, as some people seem to say it is. I'm just throwing that out there for you. That's just the question mark that I have. That's the question mark that some people have. Now, here's the other issue, and it's not just something that I've come up with, because what we really saw is the market took a big drop when the report came out, when the jobs report came out on Friday, 5:30 a.m. We saw the futures take a big drop down. When the market opened, it was a big drop. And as the folks started digesting the data, well, they figured it out. And when they figured it out, the market started doing a turnaround. And I think that Friday actually ended up as a positive day in the market. So the big question becomes, how often are we going to keep going through these things? When are people going to start realizing that, the data, eventually the data comes out. Eventually, the economists that work for some of these big companies, they figure out what's going on in these data sets. And it's just amazing that, we have to wait for it. But as we always say here on Ron Siegel Radio,
it is what it is.
We're going to give you the real story. We're going to give you the real scoop. Now, the question is, will the markets listen? We don't know. But we are stuck here right in a trading range. So being in this trading range, that's pretty good for us. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Now, I do get harassed every once in a while because I call it the Mortgage Minute. And sometimes it lasts, almost all the time, it lasts more than a minute. But I just throw that out there because you got to get you the right information. You can't make an educated decision when you're not educated. And with the mainstream media, it just does not give you this stuff. So I just want you to have that. I probably don't have time to get into another report right now before we have to go to break, but I'm going to give you a couple of freebies. I like giving away free stuff. So go to rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually pay your credit card bills the right way for FICO scoring purposes. I know those of you that say you pay them in full all the time, you still may be doing it the wrong way for FICO scoring purposes. rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. There's one freebie for you. I'm going to give you also credit mistakes and credit tips. That's TIPS. rsrcreditmistakes.com, rsrcreditmistakes.com. We put together a cheat sheet for you, rsrcreditmistakes.com, and we've also got rsrcredittips.com. 3 free reports. All you have to do is go in there and tell us where to send them. I've been told where to go, but this has told us where to send them. So we've got rsrccpayment.com, rsrcreditmistakes.com, and rsrcredittips.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, should you rent your house or sell it? Where will you go if you sell? You have options. And we got a survey, why 1 in 4 are filing taxes late. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Should you rent your house or sell it? That is our subject today. If you're a homeowner ready to make a move, you may be thinking about using your current house as a short-term rental property instead of selling it. Short-term rental, that's STR for those of you keeping score. Short-term rental is typically offered as an alternative to a hotel. Think VRBO or Airbnb. Typically offered as an alternative to a hotel, and they're an investment that's gained popularity in recent years. According to a Harris Poll survey, 28% of homeowners have considered using rental service to temporarily rent out their home for additional income. Owning a short-term rental can be a tempting idea, but you may find the reality of being responsible for one difficult to take on. Here's some of the challenges you could face if you rent out your house instead of selling it. A short-term rental comes with responsibilities. Successfully owning and renting a house takes work. Think through your ability to make that commitment, especially if you plan to use your platform that advertises your rental listing. Most of them have specific requirements hosts have to meet, and it takes a lot of work. A recent article from Bankrate explains, quote, managing a rental property can be time-consuming and challenging. Are you handy and able to make some repairs yourself? If not, do you have a network of affordable contractors you can reach out to in a pinch? Consider whether you want to take on the added responsibility of being a landlord, which means screening tenants and fielding issues among other responsibilities, or paying for a third party to take care of these things instead, unquote. Not only is there upfront time and costs of owning a short-term rental, but there are also risks that come up for you down the road. Investopedia warns, quote, Risks of hosting include renting your place to rude guests, theft or damaged property, complaints from neighbors, and potential regulatory violations depending upon your location, unquote. There's a lot to consider before taking the leap and converting your house into a short-term rental. If you aren't ready for the work it takes, it could be wiser to sell instead. Your house may not be ideal for rental goals. Not every house ends up being a profitable short-term rental either. One of the biggest factors is where your home is located. The less likely your neighborhood is to be a travel destination, the fewer requests you should expect from potential renters, and that impacts your bottom line. An article from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, advises, quote, when it comes to the viability of profitable STRs, considers factors like location, amenities, and whether the property is appealing. Most people seek STRs in locations where they vacation, so proximity to attractions is important. Likewise, the property should cater to a variety of travelers, unquote. Smart to do your homework and learn how much rentals in your area go for, how much business they get throughout the year, and how this compares to your goals. Bottom line, converting your home into a short-term rental is not an easy decision. You should make without doing research. You got to research it to decide if selling your house is a better alternative. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or Ron Siegel Radio, Ron at ronsiegelradio.com. Hey, remember, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers who can buy or sell or borrow on real estate, give them our number as well, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Great tool. I use it all the time in looking at values because you can go right there on the fourth button. No, first off, go there and log in. Register. Put your name. You're not going to get advertising. That's not what it's about. They're not going to sell your information. That's not what it's about. You go in there and you log in, create your own username and password in there. That way you can put your address in and find out what properties' values are in your neighborhood. Are they going up? Are they going down? What direction are they moving? So just go in there and get that in there first off. You can put in there that you want them to send you a report every month. You know, you get a bank account, you get a bank statement, you get a 401k statement, you get an asset statement, but probably the largest statement that you have, the largest asset you have is your house, and you don't find out what that's worth on a regular basis. Why not? Just throwing that out there. You need to understand these things. rsrhomescout.com. First tab over, you can actually do home shopping, not an Amazon type home shopping. Looking for properties, about 97% of the country. You can get that right there on RSR Home Scout as well. And it'll keep you up to date with what's happening in the marketplace on that one. So rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. That is the real-time real estate segment. But more, we've got another real-time real estate segment for you, because here's a question that we get on a regular basis as well. Where will you go if you sell? So you sell your house, where are you going to go? Real-time real estate brought to you by rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. You got a twofer today. Where will you go if you sell? You have options. And hey, don't forget, if you're thinking about selling, rsrhsg.com, rsrhsg.com. You can get a copy of our home seller's guide. That one is free. Of course, most of them that we have here are free. rsrhsg.com, the home seller's guide. Where will you go if you sell? You have options. There are plenty of good reasons you might be ready to move, no matter your motivations. Before you list your current house, you need to consider where you'll go next. In today's market, it makes sense to explore all your options. That includes both homes that have been lived in before as well as newly built ones. To help you decide which is right for you, let's compare the benefits of each. Regardless of which option you choose to explore, working with a trusted real estate professional throughout the process is essential. The benefits of newly built homes. First, let's look at the benefits of purchasing a newly constructed home. With a brand new house, you'll be able to, number one, build your dream home. If you build a home from the ground up, you'll have the option to select the custom features you want. including appliances, finishes, landscape, layout, and more. Bankrate puts it like this, quote, building means customizing. Instead of wishing your home had a certain kind of flooring, a sunroom, or some other special amenity, you'll be able to tailor the property to your exact needs. You also won't be limited to a specific location or neighborhood, unquote. Number 2, take advantage of builder concessions. In today's market, a lot of home builders are working hard to sell their current inventory before they add more to their mix. That means many of them are offering concessions and are more willing to negotiate with buyers. That could work to your advantage in the process. Number 3, minimize home repairs. Many builders offer a warranty, so you'll have peace of mind on unlikely repairs. Plus, you won't have as many little improvement projects to tackle. As Realtor.com says, if something goes wrong with your new home, not only are there likely some manufacturer warranties in place, but many builders also include additional home warranties, unquote. On this subject, remember our conversation, I think a week or so ago, with John Hammond Inspections. Pay $400 or $500 and get a home inspection like in your 10th or 11th month in the property. That way you go and you have the home checked out by a home inspector, and there might be things that they find that you haven't even touched yet. I had one just recently where somebody in a beach community, they had a new home put in and they didn't realize because they hadn't tried using the air conditioner or the furnace that it didn't work. And they didn't find that out until the 13th month. Guess what? The warranty was lapsed. So get a home inspection. It costs you $500, $600, $700. I don't know what it is. Hammond Inspections is our go-to. Number 4, take advantage of energy efficiency. When building a home, you can choose brand new energy efficient options to help lower your utility costs, protect the environment, and reduce your carbon footprint. Remember, if you're going to a track, do not register at the track with your real name. Tell them that go with your realtor and let them register there for you so that your realtor can protect you if you do not have a realtor. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will get you one. Just protecting you because the contract the builders have you signed to buy a home is skewed in their benefit. They wrote it to their benefit. Benefits of existing home. Now let's compare those to the perks that come with buying an existing home. With a pre-existing home, you can, number 1, explore a wider variety of home styles and floor plans. With decades of homes to choose from, you'll have a broader range of floor plans and designs available. Number 2, appreciate that lived-in charm. The character of older homes is hard to reproduce. If you value timeless craftsmanship or design elements, you may prefer an existing home. Number 3, join an established neighborhood. Existing homes give you the option to get to know the neighborhood, community, or traffic patterns before you commit. Plus, they have more developed landscaping and trees, which can give you additional privacy and curb appeal. Number 4, move in faster. If you have a short time frame to move in, or you just don't want the process to take several months while your home is under construction, buying an existing home might make sense for you. U.S. News explains, quote, when you're choosing a home, existing or new, you should also consider how long it might take to move into that home. Just because you have a contract doesn't mean that your new home will be completed or even started at the time you agree to the purchase. It can be a struggle waiting for the walls to go up as you wonder what your home will become, unquote. When thinking about where you'll go after you sell your house, remember your options. As you start your search, think about what's most important to you. By working with a trusted real estate agent, you can be confident you're making the most educated, informed decision. Bottom line, if you have questions about the options in your area, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and get a copy of the free home buyer's guide, rsrhbg.com, rsrhbg.com. Get that free buyer's guide. All you have to do is tell us where to send it, rsrhbg.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we got that survey. Here's why 1 in 4 are filing taxes late. We'll talk about that one. And we're going to try and get to it. I've tried a few times. Today's housing market is nothing like 15 years ago. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, RSRNoDebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. RSRNoDebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to RSRNoDebt.com. RSRNoDebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Credit.com did a survey. I'm going to talk to you about it. This is the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? So Credit Sanitizer, Credit.com did a survey. 1 in 4 file taxes late. Here's why you should not wait to file. According to the National Retail Federation, almost half of all consumers say they expect to file their taxes in February. Those who are expecting refunds often want to get their returns in early to maximize the chances of a quicker refund. If you know you owe taxes, you might push off filing your refund until April, so you have more time before you pay it. But what happens if you file your taxes late? Well, again, Credit.com asked more than 1,000 people if they've ever filed their tax returns late and followed up with a few questions about why someone might file taxes late. Just under 1 in 4 of the survey respondents said they'd filed taxes late. Survey indicates that men are slightly more likely to file taxes late than women. Around 25% of men in the survey said they'd filed taxes late before, while only around 20% of women said the same. Younger and middle-aged individuals are also more likely to file taxes late than older generations. Around 46% of survey respondents aged 25 to 49 said they'd filed their taxes late at least once. Busy lives interfere with filing taxes on time. When asked what might cause them to file taxes late, 75% of the people aged 18 to 49 said they just didn't have enough time. Being too busy was the top reason given by people aged 18 to 34. Around 30% of men listed lack of time as a reason they might miss a tax deadline, making it the top answer for men. Only around 18% of women cited lack of time as a reason for failing to file taxes on time. For women, the most common reason was needing professional help with taxes. Older generations need more help filing taxes. For people aged 35 and older, requiring professional help with taxes was the top reason for filing late. This becomes even more common with each age bracket. 35 to 49, 25.5% said they need professional assistance filing taxes. 50 to 64, 33.2% said they need professional assistance. Age 65 plus, 43.4% said they need professional assistance. Aside from being busy and needing assistance, other reasons people gave for not filing taxes on time included the cost of filing being too high, being too confused by taxes, forgetting when the deadline is, being unable to pay what's owed. Why should you file taxes on time? Filing your taxes on time is the law. It also keeps you from owing late filing fees and penalties. Also, be careful because if a crook gets a hold of your information and they file and then you go to file, there's going to be problems because the IRS is going to say, hey, you already filed your tax return. They may have got your return, your refund, or they may have applied for a refund that you weren't even entitled to. And now you got all kinds of other headaches. So get your taxes filed sooner rather than later. What is the penalty for filing late taxes? The IRS charges steep penalties for failure to file your taxes. 5% of the taxes due for every month the return is late, up to 25% of the taxes you owe. However, in 2020, 2021, and 2022, if your taxes are more than 60 days late, the minimum filing penalty, $435 or 100% of the amount of taxes you owe, whichever is less. What happens if you are late filing your taxes? If you're filing your taxes late using a paid or free tax preparation software, it may help you calculate how much you owe in penalties. That amount will be included on the paperwork you generate showing you how much to pay. If that's not the case and you file a return without calculating those amounts, the IRS is likely to send you a bill for the penalties. Note that you'll also owe interest on your total tax bill. The IRS charges interest on penalties and late taxes. How can I make sure I file taxes on time? You can take a few steps to ensure you file your taxes on time, including filing for an extension, preparing properly for tax season, and getting professional help. Better late than never. If you owe taxes and miss the tax filing deadline, it's better to file late than to continue to avoid the issue. Reach out to a tax professional if you're not sure how to file your taxes or need help understanding if you can reduce your tax burden. That's just a little bit of the information for you. That's the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. Love getting that stuff for you. Again, the big issue there, be really, really careful because that is an easy way for the folks, for the crooks to steal your information. Bonus for you today, real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Today's housing market is nothing like it was 15 years ago. There's no doubt today's housing market is very different from the frenzied one from the past couple of years. In the second half of 2022, there was a dramatic shift in real estate, and it caused many people to make comparisons to the 2008 housing crisis. While there may be a few similarities when looking at key variables now compared to the last housing cycle, there are significant differences. In the latest Real Estate Forecast Summit, Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, drew the comparisons below between today's housing market and the previous cycle. Today's nothing like 15 years ago. And Josh, I don't know if you have this chart available or not. He's always ahead of me. So if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of the socials or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, Nothing like 15 years ago, comparing key variables in the last housing cycle to today. So, job cuts, net gains and losses. Last housing cycle, 8 million lost. Current housing cycle, none. Total jobs, household survey, 138 million. Today, 158 million. Subprime loans, they were prevalent. Virtually none today. New construction for the previous 5 years, 7.65 million. Today, 4.6 million. Inventory on the market, 3.8 to 4 million. Today, 1 to 1.2 million. Way down. Mortgage delinquency, 10.1%. Today, 3.6%. Homes in foreclosure, then 4.6%. Today, 0.6%, under 1%. Looking at the facts, it's clear today is very different from the housing market of 15 years ago. There's opportunity in real estate today, big time. Today's market, with inventory rising and less competition from other buyers, there's opportunity right now. According to David Stevens, former Assistant Secretary of Housing, quote, be advised, this may be the one and only window for the next few years to get into buyer's market. And remember, as the Federal Reserve data shows, home prices only go up and always recover from recessions, no matter how mild or severe. Long-term homeowners should view this market right now as a unique buying opportunity, unquote. Bottom line, today's housing market is nothing like the real estate market 15 years ago. If you're a buyer right now, this may be the chance you've been waiting for. RSRHBG.com, RSRHBG.com. Get a copy of the Home Buyer's Guide, RSRHBG.com. You may want to buy down the interest rate. You're saying, Ron, I don't like the interest rate. RSRBuydown.com, RSRBuydown.com. That'll help you with that part as well. We've got the problem solved. You may think there's other problems out there, but we've got most of them solved for you. All you have to do is make the call, 800-306-1990. Now, alternatively, you don't have to make the call. You can wait. If you were thinking about buying and you wanted to buy, and about a year ago, you're looking and you're saying, every time I put an offer in, I get outbid. Every time the rates are amazing. Well, right now the rates went up, so there's less inventory on hand, and the buyers are out there saying, I'm waiting for interest rates to go down, so there's less buyers out there. That's keeping market prices stable because you've got less inventory and less buyers. That's keeping the market stable. Got to be careful of that part. So stability means you're not going to see the prices go down on property, most likely. Maybe certain areas, there's pockets where they will. But for the most part, you're not going to see prices drop. Get the Buyer's Guide, RSRHBG.com. Then the other part of it is, if you wait until the end of this year, many economists are saying we're going to see a recession. During recessions, historically, real estate values go up. Historically, I can't guarantee. And interest rates go down. So the bottom line there is, what was the catalyst for all that real estate selling? Well, the catalyst was low interest rates. As interest rates go down, we're going to get more and more buyers coming in, and maybe we'll see some more selling. Maybe not. But you may get yourself right back into that same dilemma that we had a few years, last year and the year before, where you've got massive amounts of people looking to buy with limited real estate. So you're going to get back into that frustration. Well, buy right now and then refinance later. I know that sounds self-serving, but it's serving you, because now you can take the opportunity to buy, and you might even be able to go to the seller and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I need you to help me with the interest rate. Don't ask for a price concession. Ask for what they call an interested party concession. And you want RSRBuydown.com, RSRBuydown.com. We go through and walk you through how to get that buy down and have a lower payment. Because the price of the property, you're not going to pay the full price of the property, never. You'll pay it off when you sell it or something like that, but very rarely do we pay off our properties while we're living there. It's what can we afford? If you want to help with the affordability, RSRBuydown.com, RSRBuydown.com. Just the bottom line for you right there. So we're giving you all kinds of free things. We're helping you out. We're going to be doing some first-time homebuyer workshops. In fact, Josh and I are putting together a first-time buyer dashboard for you. And hopefully we'll have that available to share maybe tomorrow or the day after. We'll see how it goes, see how my voice does. But we're going to try that for you. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.